Hello and welcome back to the dumbest modeling channel on all of YouTube, Pitstain Hobbies. I'm your host, Tank Commander Ian, and we're back on the Agora models, Leopard 2A6 main battle tank. I have pack 10 right here in my hands. It's probably going to be a pretty quick pack. It's all cool mechanical stuff that's going in, electronic bits. So, as always, the links are below to Agora models to check out the Leopard 2A6 and their wealth of other partwork model kits they have. The Bismarck, also the Japanese Zero Fighter, we're also building on this channel. The amazingly, monstrously huge Optimus Prime that we're building, that's up on that website. They're going to have the new James Bond, No Time to Die, Aston Martin DB5 coming out. Totally new model. Totally all redone, totally new. Not the old DB5 from back in the day. This is a new one. I'm tempted. I'm a huge James Bond fan down here. We love us some James Bond. I might hold out for the Lotus Submarine. My absolute favorite James Bond car is the V8 Vantage from what is that? Living Daylights, I believe. Oh my God, that car was awesome. The damn thing had skis on it and rocket launchers and a jetpack and all this. Oh, it was crazy. All the James Bond cars are really cool, though. Some more so than others. So No Time to Die is going to be that first one. Then there's a bunch of other cool models they have. But either way, we're building the 2A6 tonight. Pack 10. Getting on it. As always, email me, like, subscribe, comment, get free stickers. I've got more stickers than I know what to do with. Please, people, start emailing me more. I have too many stickers. And I have a good supply of postage stamps. So, I'm jumping the gun. Jumping the gun. Whoa, what are we doing here? We're doing stage 78, which is this thing. Okay, everyone's like, what the hell is that, Ian? Oh, that thing is called a slip ring. This is a fantastic boon to RC tankers. So, all the wires go from the main hull into the turret to power all the cool turret things. Let's take that out. It's a little baggy. Nothing else left in there. Okay. And as you rotate the turret, wires twist. You rotate the turret enough times, the wires twist enough times, and everything jams up. And it's not good. So what this is it'll pass wires from the chassis up to the turret, or vice versa, and this thing will rotate. So you could indefinitely spin your turret and never have to worry about like unwinding it, like on even most Tamiya full option tanks. And then this isn't even a standard feature on basically any RC tank out there. People add these after the fact because people want to be able to just constantly, like in real life, they can just keep spinning the turret all they want. So why can't we do it with an RC? So that's that. That's that slip ring. We've got a few big screws here. And this is going to be a quick one. We're going to take the slip ring and we're going to bolt it into the lower chassis. So we're going to take this feller and we're going to put there's a longer wiring end and a shorter wiring end. And the longer one is going to go facing up and the shorter end is going to go facing down. And we're just literally going to snap it right down onto those 3 pegs and then put down 3 of these screws. We might want a bigger screwdriver. These are some full-size adult screws we got going on right here. Let's see here. And that'll, that's actually that's a little sloppy fit. We might need a number 2 Phillips for this. Holy cow. First time I ever broken one of these out for part work. There we go. Ah, yeah, that's more like it. So we're just going to get these 3 in here into the ABS lower hull, which is a good resilient plastic for an RC tank. That's what all the big players are using. So I'm going to get those other 2 screws in and we'll be right back. Okay, well, on to stage 79, and we are going to be putting in the turret rotation assembly. The turret rotation unit is important if you want to rotate your turret. So just lean her over this way, that's fine. And then this is the turret rotation unit. This is a very standard part, you know. Every RC tank has some form of turret rotation motor. Up there's the screws. They were stuck to the little electric motor due to it having magnets in it. Now there's a little bit of schmoo on this gear already, but I'm going to take a little extra silicone lubricant that I've put in to this thing, and I am going to add to it. Silicone lubricant is safe for basically all plastics and things like that. And we're gonna schmoo this stuff in a bunch of places. Now, just a top tip is this ring gear, you want it snug but not tight. It's gotta have just a tiny bit of resistance to rotating. We don't want to overstress our turret rotation assembly. So this fella is going to orient. Is it this way? No. This way? Yes. So this thing's going to go kind of like this. Okay, we're going to put the wire underneath it, and we're going to snap her down onto these 3 posts. There we go. Okay, so she's in, and this motor will probably go into one of these. What does this say? V. It'll go right there. And then a few of these little screws. Woo! Let's see. Is this another full size? No, this is a regular Phillips. So we're going to just get a couple of those screws in there. And I really don't have to go to commercial break to install screws on this video because we really don't have a ton of parts we'll be putting in. So I can go into some detail on things where I normally might gloss over them at like I can't find my screwdriver. There we go. Some nice long screws. So yeah, this will rotate this ring gear to move your turret side to side. Make it spin, do the cha-cha. Okay, and we're gonna screw this thing down snugly. Should I be so presumptuous as to plug in that cable to the port marked V and plug in the cable marked V? But yeah, this really only goes in one way and one direction. Now, it would have been genius of me to it's got a bit of a clutch mechanism in it. So yeah. So you're not really going to be able to hand spin your turret once you have this motor in there. You don't really want to too much. And then we're going to do that. And that goes in there. And we got the screws. And that's it. That's all it wants us to do. It doesn't want us to plug anything in just yet. Okay, and then 80. Okay, 80. Let me get this out of the way, and I'll be right back with stage 80. Stage 80 is incredibly difficult. I've been racking my brain over how to accomplish this, but stage 80, what you must do is cut open the parts bag, okay? And then take out this electric motor, okay, and look at it. And that's it. Stage 80 is done. I know, I'm such a jackass sometimes. All right, and then stage 81 is where the fun starts to happen. Okay, so now I ripped this open to take a look at it when I was doing an unboxing. And there should be some screws. Ian, this bag was already opened. What have you done? Oh, you know what? I don't know. Let me see here. Not sure there. Let's see. YP and SP screws. Let me see if they gave me those in a previous. They definitely gave me SP. I got a couple of those right there. So let's see what we see here. Now, this is the gearbox. Well, there they are. There's those screws. I was like, I knew they couldn't be like just missing screws. They're just hiding next to the transmission. Get rid of this. Okay, so here's your transmission for one side of the tank. And you can see, okay, metal gears. They're cast metal. And they do have a little bit of schmoo on them. And it looks like it's a silicone lubricant. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to actually, this is what I'm doing for me, is I'm going to add a little more silicone lubricant to the gears in random places, okay? And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to just manually spin these things around. It's okay if a little schmoo flings off. I'd rather have too much schmoo than not enough schmoo. You know, an excess of schmoo is one thing. You could wipe off if you get schmoo on you. But if there's not enough schmoo, you get friction. And we don't want any friction. Oh dear, this channel's just gotten weird all of a sudden. I'm kidding. Okay, so we need a couple of these SP silver screws. And we're going to be bolting the electric motor in to the transmission. It's basically just going to go in this hole and get bolted in. And that's pretty much it. So what I am going to do is, most tanks, when you build a transmission on the motor, just a good idea to do is a little bit of thread lock. So I happen to have some Tamiya red pasty semi-permanent thread lock here. That's just going to keep the screws from backing out and you know, letting the motor come out of alignment. It's not really going to come out of alignment. I just, oh, come on. Give me that. Okay, time. Talking about, this is the Schmoo episode. This episode, officially sponsored by Schmoo Everywhere. Okay. Oh, I got all sorts of things stuck to me from the Schmoo. All right. So we're going to take our little screw. It's on the screwdriver head. And we are going to take our electric motor. It's got 2 threaded holes here that we want to line up with those 2 threaded holes there. Things are a little magnetic here, so the parts want to get friendly ahead of time. But we're just going to get that screw right through there and just snug the first one down. And then we're going to wipe our other screw into the thread lock schmoo and get that into that second hole down here. It's all about schmooing your shafts and inserting them into the correct hole with the proper amount of twisting force. And you can bear down on these screws a little bit. You want to make sure that's a nice tight connection. So now we really can't turn our gearbox by hand anymore because it's been engaged with the motor. But if we grab something with some more leverage, there we go. And the extra schmoo now is transferring to the pinion gear on the electric motor, which is what we want. We want the schmoo there. That's good. And we got to remove the smoker unit from the chassis. So let's get that over here. You know, these partworks, they like messing with you sometimes. They're like, oh yeah, just remove this part that you worked hard to put in 10 stages ago. I think they just don't want them, like, the parts just laying around ready to get lost. So I believe, yeah, these pipes can come off of here because I zip tied these onto the exhaust ports because I didn't want to have to fiddle with them. So we're going to take a couple of these guys out for the smoker. Basically these 2 screws here. There we go. Put that screw aside. And that screw, smoker's out. Put that aside. And now we have to mount our transmission in here. So you're going to want to get this thing into this, basically this thing, but on the other side. So you want your drive shaft to come out of there. All right. And we're just going to basically, here, tilt it and then drop it into place. And she goes right in, nice and easy. All right, once we have that into place, then we're going to use 3 of these black YP screws to bolt down the transmission. Those are probably YP screws as well. Let's see here. So we're going to get one of them in here. All right. And you could snug it pretty well. Don't go crazy. And then we've got to sneak a couple screws into there and there. Those 2 holes right there. So a little hard to show you on camera, but I hope everyone saw the holes to which I was referring, and you can see basically where I am on the transmission. That's where that boss is that you need to screw into. And don't go crazy because it's ABS plastic. It's not indestructible, but give it a good solid finger tightening. And then we may have to, we'll just pull this wire out of the way and then get that last one in there. You can see where my screwdriver is. And me trying to do all these fancy YouTube video build tutorial things, and I just go all butterfingers. Get her in the hole. There we go. We'll tighten that one down. And snug as a bug in a rug. And there we go. Our final drive's coming out of there. Our output shaft for our sprocket gears is right there. Now we're going to repeat this same procedure. That's 81. 82. Okay, 82 has a little asterisk on it. Now 82, right here. Okay, there's a warning on this. And it says pack 13, eyeball, exclamation mark. So something was up with the part from the factory. The factory made a slight boo-boo, okay? And something didn't work right. So we have our supplemental pack 13 here. I'm going to take our replacement 82 cable. Now I want to mark this one so I don't get confused that this is the one we don't want to use. So I'm just going to like put a couple black marks on it. Okay? Just so we know we don't want to use this one. But I do want to compare them side by side to see what the difference is. It's probably a very subtle change. Like 1 pair of wires is probably reversed. Something simple like that. Like if we look here, red, black, red, black, red, black, red, black. Then if we compare the other side, we've got, red, black, red, black, red, black, red, black. And this one's black, red, black, red, black, red. So the factory basically needed to make a crossover cable, and they made a straight through cable. That's a networking term. But basically, yeah, it's a simple mistake, clearly. You could have, I mean, technically, you could have depinned all these JST connectors, pulled the things out, and swapped all the red and the blacks around on one end, and probably ended up with the same final result. But obviously, that's a fairly fiddly task that a lot of people don't want to do, and you could technically break things while taking apart a JST. It's really only meant to be assembled once. And that's that. So this is our good one. This one we will throw into purgatory over there. Bad cable. And then we're gonna take our cable here, and they want us to plug it into the board that's on the bottom of the turret. So I guess you want to watch me do that. I'll be right back. Okay, so the photo has us using tweezers or something. I think I can manage to plug this in to right here without the tweezers. Okay, she's plugged in. All right, well, I'm following the instructions. So, you know, when I start coloring outside the lines, things get hairy. Okay, we're going to go over to stage 83, another extremely difficult stage. There we go. There we go. Okay, we're going to put that tank down there. Box over here. 83 requires just as much concentration as 81 did. We're going to cut open that bag. Okay, let's be thorough. Let's rip the whole top off. I want to savor stage 83 for a minute here. There we go. 83 is done. So now we get more fun with Shmoo because 84 is going to come out of its plastic suffocation chamber. There we go. It's actually air holes. They actually put air holes in the bag so the poor things can breathe while in transit. That's nice. Very humanitarian, I gotta say. No one treats a transmission better than Agora models. You've even given it air holes. And the tape, because packaging designers are Satan worshippers. I'm kidding. I'm sure the packaging designer at Agora Models is a very nice person. There we go. I mean, their shipping boxes are spiffy as hell, you know? Same thing here is we're going to take a couple of these silver screws and we are going to shmoo them up. Now, there's alternate shmoo methods that you can do. There's more than one way to shmoo a cat. So I'm going to show you a secondary shmoo method. Is you can literally take any little thing you have. I happen to have one of these little rubber cuticle pushers from Amazon, and you can actually push a little bit of this shmoo. Now, you don't have to use the thread lock. I'm using thread lock because I have it handy because I've built a million tanks. So I have a whole bunch of thread lock. And just push it into those screw holes. You could use your finger. You could apply shmoo with all sorts of different objects. You could use a flathead screwdriver. That'll work as well. The other thing we're going to do is we're going to add some supplemental shmoo to our transmission gears. Just a little here and there. These spin very freely. The mesh is nice. And once you add your shmoo, very slowly. Oh my God. Hold on, we'll be right back. The wife's calling. Okay, there was an important PSA from the wife. So what we're going to do, same thing here. We're going to get our little gearbox. We're going to put her outside the transmission. This one's much easier to mount. You don't have to go through the through holes to get to it. And just get a couple screws in there. That's if Ian aligned the holes properly. There we go. Even an idiot gets it right once in a while. Right? Oh, geez. I think I'm gonna save up anytime I have, not a screw up, because I let you see all the screw ups, but anytime I have a recording mishap or a blooper, as I like to call it, I started saving bloopers up. Now you'd think like, Ian, you'll have enough bloopers to do an hour-long video in like the next week. Stop it. I'm flattered you think that's possible. No, but I'm saving up the bloopers. And we're going to get this transmission. So someday I will put out a blooper reel, which you can imagine based on the stuff that I keep in my videos. So basically it's tilted up like that, slide her in the hole, and just drop her straight down. And she'll pretty much fall into place. And same thing, one screw here, and then one screw down here, and then one screw right here. And we'll be, you know, Bob's your uncle, or whatever the British people say. And we like what they say, funny things. They sound so smart when they say it. It's almost condescending, but I'm quite fond of the Brits. Plus, Agora is it's a bunch of British people, and they were so nice. When we met at Wonderfest, we hung out, had a beer, shot the breeze, down-to-earth human beings, like normal people, like you and me. Well, maybe not as dumb as me, way smarter than me. I mean, they're running the whole business over there. I can barely run my personal life. I mean, you know, I'm probably going to forget to bring the recycling out tomorrow for like the third week in a row. Then I'll hear it from the wife. There we go. All right, let's get this in here. Third screw. Okay. So now we've got both of our transmissions in. The business end of the tank is done. And I believe we get to remount our smoker. So we're going to put this back in. So now we're going to make sure we get our wires out of the way here. And we're going to get our little our little smoker tubes back on there. And we're going to push our smoker back onto its pegs. Get the screws back in there. Okay, so we'll want to put some pressure on the top of the smoker. Flip the tank on her side. And attack from the bottom with our screw. Let's get that one in there. This one should be a little easier, so we don't need 3 hands. Okay. Woo! Okay. Chassis got some weight to it. Chassis got some weight to it. Like when you're putting those heavy springs in earlier in the build and you're like, oh, those are too stiff. You wait till this whole thing's together. You need those stiffer springs. There we go. We used quite a lot of our schmoo tonight. But that's it. So I would personally recommend the thread lock for bolting in the motors. It's just a nice little insurance policy there. Because you don't have to unbolt the trans. There's a whole bunch to take apart if one of your motors came loose. And then I added extra schmoo. The transmissions were already schmooed though. So they did have lubricant on them. I just added more lube. Oh, Jesus. Ian, you got to stop. But either way, thank you for watching. This was Pack 10 of the Agora Models Leopard 2A6. Link below. Click on the linkies. Click on the like. Click on the subscribe. Email me, and there's stickers. There's all sorts of stickers. We got the new bloody stickers. And thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Don't run over anyone with your tank.